Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, blogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments, vlogs such as
5 Minutes with the G,
the Straight Shootin View,
Coaching with JBK,
audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Podomatic, Spotify,
Mixcloud
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook
and our official website www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat,
the pitch is where we sleep,
and the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then. I can see you now.
Welcome to
the Straight Shootin View.
Hey everybody, what is up? Straight Shootin LJA here, and welcome to another episode of the Straight Shootin View. Now, football and the footballing world moves so quickly. A hell of a lot's happened, well, recently. Oh my God, a lot's happened. Well, the inevitable happened. Steve Bruce got sacked, and Newcastle United are now owned by Saudis. I'll probably delve into that in deep, long form in an episode of the Straight Shootin View down the line on what's wrong with that, because, yeah, hell of a lot to unpack there. But, yeah, Steve Bruce got the chop, and Newcastle are looking for his replacement. But also, as well, maybe even more surprisingly, Nuno Espirito Santo recently lost his job at Tottenham Hotspur and has been replaced by Antonio Conte. Now, in regards to the vacant Newcastle job, Eddie Howe, there are rumours swirling that he's been linked to that job. And yeah, Conte taking over at Tottenham, he's only been given an 18-month contract. So you know what? Both of those topics, I'm going to let you hear some audio now from a conversation that, well, replies that I had to the G-Man and JBK, my other two Pitch Talk co-hosts, because there was a lot to dissect and a lot to unpack about the Eddie Howe rumours of him going to Newcastle and taking over there, and also Nuno Espirito Santo being sacked by Tottenham and Conte only being given an 18-month deal. Have a listen, let me know your views on the other side. An 18-month contract is bullshit, and that's Daniel Levy being a businessman. Because you know what, an 18-month contract, you know what that does? That lowers the severance pay. It lowers the risk for the club in case it goes tits up after 6 months. It lowers the risk for the club. And for me, that's what Daniel Levy's looking at with an 18-month contract. Because if you say sign someone, like let's take Chelsea for instance, because of the amount that they've paid in severance over the years, I think it's something probably about 150 mil by now. They've signed people. Look at one example, Andre Villas-Boas. He was signed to a 4-year contract, gone after about 4 months, and look at how much they had to pay him. I think it was at 10-15 million. Now look at Mourinho. Everywhere he's gone, he's signed like 3-4 year contracts. He's signed multi-year deals, and he's earned more off severance than he has from managing these clubs, if you look at how much he's earned in severance pay. So as a business, Tottenham is smart to only sign an 18-month contract, but as a football club, it's not smart, because it's basically a vote of confidence, where it's like, all right, we're only going to sign you. We feel this is a big risk we're taking. The last manager only lasted 4 months, so okay, we're signing you to a short-term deal. And for a quality manager like Conte, I would look at that as a piss take from a club like Tottenham, their caliber, doing that. Because at least Chelsea can say, well, look at the track record, look at what we've won, and look at what we've won doing this strategy. But Tottenham ain't won shit. So I think they're actually taking the piss. But as I said, it minimises risk for the business if you sign someone to a short-term deal. It's like, say, signing Abu Dhabi or Jack Wilshere to a pay-as-you-play. it's minimizing risk. It may not, it doesn't, it's obviously one of them ones where I said it's a vote of confidence, where it's like, yeah, we're not that confident that things are going to go that well, so we want to mitigate risk. And that is literally what it's all about, in my view, mitigating risk. Now, Eddie Howe, in regards to what's it? With the Eddie Howe thing. I mean, Eddie Howe is one of them ones where, I would not, if I were him, I would not go anywhere near Newcastle, because because the cautionary tale was there. Remember what happened with Mark Hughes and Manchester City. I would not go anywhere near that Newcastle job right now, because even with the influx of Saudi money, because I said, look at Manchester City. It took them 4 or 5 years and a couple of managers to finally get that stuff right. And the owners, obviously coming into football, they didn't really know what they were doing. And it was more, there was a lot of experimentation. So it's one of them where it's like, if I'm Eddie Howe, a manager in his position at that stage of his career that he's at, because he's still in the early phases of his career, I would see that as way too much of a gamble, and I would not take that gamble personally. Because as I said, a lot of these clubs, as mentioned about Tottenham earlier, it's about mitigating risk. And these Saudis may have money to throw at stuff, but again, as Man City proved in their first few years, if you haven't got that balance right of good management plus financial backing, if you haven't got that right, that balance, then it doesn't matter. You're throwing good money after bad. Or in the Saudis' case, you're throwing bad money after bad. So it's one of them where they've got to get, in my view, they've got to get that right first. And someone like Eddie Howe, I don't think needs to be jumping in that right now. And some may say, Bournemouth was a blemish on his career. I wouldn't even say that. I'd say he did a fantastic job with Bournemouth, being as small a club as they are, and were at that time even smaller. He did a phenomenal job, but it's one of them ones. He didn't have a billionaire behind him to continue the progress. He didn't have that at Bournemouth, and he was never going to have that at Bournemouth. So it was one of them where, with a club like that being that small, there's only so far you can really go anyway. So I said, and with the Premier League, you've not only got to spend big, you've got to spend wisely. And with Eddie Howe, it was one of them ones where he didn't necessarily get the backing that he needed to stay in the Premier League. So I said, if I'm Eddie Howe, I wouldn't go anywhere near that Newcastle job right now. I really wouldn't at his stage of his career, and also I said, it's one of them where I just wouldn't go anywhere near it, because the risk is not worth the reward. Because Eddie Howe, if he gets like a 4-year contract, let's be realistic, he's not going to win the Premier League in that time. And with the influx of money with the Saudis, that's what everybody's going to be expecting. Everybody's going to be expecting Newcastle now to replicate Chelsea, to replicate Manchester City and what they've done after the billions that has been invested in them. So that expectation is way too high. It's going to be stupidly high at Newcastle, because their owners have a stupidly high amount of money. And that's what's always got to be balanced. And again, like I said earlier about mitigating risk, that is what all of this is about, mitigating risk. From Tottenham only signing Conte, a quality manager, to an 18-month deal, which, let's be realistic, is a short-term deal and is a slap in the face. So he's clearly there, for me, he's clearly there for a paycheck. To everything else like swirling around. So it's one of them. And remember with the Conte thing as well, coming back to that, and you mentioned about Eddie Howe not getting transferred back in at Bournemouth. How much is Levy going to dip into his pocket, considering Tottenham have £1 billion stadium to pay for, and half of that is loans, so they've got to pay that back. So that's got to be factored in as well. How much is that transfer budget going to be? Because Nuno, I don't think he got much of a budget. And even I think Mourinho, it was one of them ones where he didn't get much of a budget. And I think Pochettino's main fallout from him leaving Tottenham, like some of his main reasoning, was because the budget got changed on him. And it's like, okay, yeah, we can't be doing this anymore. Yes, I know we're moving upwards, but we've got a stadium to pay off. So, yeah, man, it's a funny one. It really is a funny one at the moment. And I find it interesting that a young British manager, especially a young English manager, is being linked to the Newcastle job. Because the Saudis who have taken over Newcastle, they would do what the Sheikhs did at Manchester City, try and go for marquee talent. So that link with Eddie Howe doesn't even really make sense, because you know that they're not going to give him a decade. They're not going to be like what we did with Jurgen Klopp, giving him a 6-year extension after a couple of years. And everybody thought we were crazy for doing that at the time. But we've reaped the benefits of it. But not many clubs nowadays are going to do that. And Tottenham have shown that they're not going to do that. So that's my take on Conte only getting 18 months as a contract length from Tottenham Hotspur, and Eddie Howe being rumoured to being linked to the Newcastle job. It's kind of funny. Someone explained to me how Eddie Howe at Newcastle works, because Unai Emery turned down the job and stayed at Villarreal, which is funny in and of itself. But you know what? Let me know your views. Comment section is down below. Down where? Down there. Comment section is below. Let me know your views. Remember, this has been the Straight Shootin View. Find episodes of the Straight Shootin View, Coaching with JBK, and 5 Minutes with a G, and much, much more at www.pitch-talk.com, our official website. That site again, it's www.pitch-talk.com. Find everything you need to know about us as co-hosts and much more there. Also, you can find us, youtube.com/Pitch Talk. You can find all our videos there, including special feature segments and much, much more. Pitch Talk meets, Pitch Talk on the road, Pitch Talk at the Cup Finals. All of our series can be found on YouTube, as well as our vlogs as well. Also, you can find our audio on Verbal, at Get Verbal on Twitter. Tweet them, let them know that we sent you. You know what? We are on verbal.com. We got little snippets and playlists as well of some of our favourite moments from shows over the years there as well. And we are Verbal ambassadors and proud of it. Also Podomatic, Podbean, Spotify, so many other places, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, so many other places that you can find us. Amazon Music as well. You can find the Pitch Talk podcast there, as well as picking it up on our website, www.pitch-talk.com. You can listen direct there and subscribe to our RSS feed there as well. Remember, at Pitch Talk on Twitter. Tweet with us, follow us, see what we are up to. Facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution. We are working so hard to create. We're on Reddit as well. Find Pitch Talk on Reddit as well. And also we're on Instagram, at Pitch Talk on Instagram. Check out vlog previews and much, much more there as well. You know what? I have been Straight Shootin LJA, and as said, comment section is below. Eddie Howe to Newcastle, those rumours, are they odd? Does it make sense to you? Because it doesn't really to me. I made the comparisons earlier. Yeah, doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. And is it a smart move? If he does go there, would it actually be a smart move? I personally don't think so. But also, Antonio Conte only getting 18 months. Is that smart business by Tottenham? Are they in it for the long haul? Or does 18 months kind of give a mixed signal? Where it's like, all right, you're a quality manager, but we're only going to give you a short deal after being burned a couple of times. Or burning others as well. You know what, I've been Straight Shootin LJA, and until next time on the Straight Shootin View, thank you for your time, people. Bye-bye.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution.
Check out the official Pitch Talk website.
www.pitch-talk.com